The Delphi Murders, Unmasking the Killer. After 7 years, the tragic beginning. A day that changed everything. February 13, 2017 began as an ordinary day for 14-year-old Libby German and 13-year-old Abigail Abby Williams. It was an unseasonably warm winter afternoon in Delphi, Indiana, and the girls decided to take advantage of their day off from school by going for a hike along the Monon High Bridge Trail. At 1:35 p.m., Libby's older sister dropped them off near the trailhead. They strolled along the old railway bridge, snapping photos and enjoying the peaceful surroundings. The carefree laughter and excitement of their outing were captured in the last photos they took, unaware of the horror that awaited them just moments later. By 3:15 p.m., their families began to worry. The girls were supposed to be picked up, but they weren't answering their phones. Calls went to voicemail. Texts were unread. Something was wrong. Concern quickly turned to panic as family members and law enforcement launched a desperate search. The next day, February 14th, their worst fears were confirmed. The bodies of Libby and Abby were discovered in a wooded area near Deer Creek, less than half a mile from the bridge. The small town of Delphi would never be the same. The discovery shocked not only the families but the entire nation, sparking an investigation that would stretch on for years, filled with frustration, dead ends, and growing speculation. The chilling evidence. A killer's voice captured. What set this case apart from so many others was that Libby German, in an extraordinary act of bravery, recorded crucial evidence on her phone. Investigators recovered a grainy video and chilling audio of a man ordering the girls, saying, "Down the hill." This brief recording, along with a blurry image of the suspect, became the most crucial leads in the case. It was a rare moment where the victims themselves had captured a piece of the puzzle, providing investigators with a haunting clue that kept the case alive in the public eye. The police released the footage to the public, hoping someone would recognize the voice or the man's posture, but despite thousands of tips, no immediate arrests were made. The person responsible for this horrific crime remained a mystery. The clip sent chills down the spines of those who listened. Was the voice someone familiar? Did someone in the community recognize the way he spoke? The grainy image was analyzed endlessly, with theories and speculations growing each day. But despite the shocking nature of this piece of evidence, the investigation continued to stall. The families pleaded for justice, urging the public to come forward with any information that could finally lead to the unmasking of the killer. The hunt for the killer. Years of frustration and dead ends. For years, law enforcement worked tirelessly to crack the case. In 2017, police released an initial sketch of a suspect, a middle-aged man with a goatee and a cap. 2 years later, they released an entirely new sketch, this time of a much younger man, leading to confusion and speculation. Investigators insisted both images were connected, but the public struggled to understand how. This drastic shift in the investigation led to widespread frustration, leaving many wondering if the police were as lost as the rest of the world. Rumors swirled. Was this crime linked to other unsolved murders? Could a serial predator be on the loose? Investigators followed thousands of leads, but every promising tip led to another frustrating dead end. Family members of the victims, along with the people of Delphi, refused to give up hope. But as years passed, the question remained, who was the man on the bridge? Some believed he was a stranger passing through, while others feared he was someone they had seen in town, someone who had blended in for years. This uncertainty only deepened the terror that gripped the town, with parents growing more protective of their children and residents fearing that the killer could still be among them. Despite national attention and involvement from agencies like the FBI, the case seemed unsolvable. Billboards went up, reward money increased, and true crime enthusiasts pored over every detail, yet the real identity of the killer remained just out of reach. The frustration in the community was palpable, and fear settled in. Would he strike again? Had he already? The sense of urgency never faded, and despite the lack of progress, law enforcement assured the public they were still working behind the scenes to solve the case. Don't forget to subscribe for more haunting adventures. Share this video with fellow thrill seekers and comment your thoughts below. The shocking breakthrough, a suspect in custody. Finally, on October 26, 2022, after nearly 6 years of relentless investigation, authorities arrested Richard Allen, a 50-year-old pharmacy technician who had been living in Delphi the entire time. The news sent shockwaves through the community. Allen had never been publicly named as a suspect before. Even more disturbing? He had worked at the local CVS and had even printed funeral photos for the victims' families. The thought that the killer had walked freely among them for years was unbearable for many in Delphi. But why now? What had led investigators to him after so long? Court documents revealed that new evidence had come to light, including an unspent bullet found near the girls' bodies that was linked to a gun owned by Allen. He had also allegedly confessed to his wife and mother, stating, "I did it." These shocking revelations painted a horrifying picture. The killer had been hiding in plain sight all along. How had he avoided detection for so long? Had investigators overlooked crucial evidence in the early days of the case? Neighbors and acquaintances were stunned. How had they never suspected him? Some recalled odd behavior, while others insisted he seemed like an ordinary man. The possibility that he had continued living his life, knowing what he had done, haunted the people of Delphi. The betrayal of trust was immense, and the arrest only brought more questions than answers. The trial and the search for justice. With Richard Allen in custody, the legal battle to convict him began. Prosecutors built their case, presenting forensic evidence, witness testimonies, and new details about his possible connection to the crime. But Allen's defense team pushed back, claiming he was being framed and that key evidence had been mishandled. The back-and-forth legal battle only added to the uncertainty surrounding the case. The trial, expected to take place in 2024, has gripped the nation. Will the evidence be enough to secure a conviction? Or will more shocking twists emerge? While Libby and Abby's families finally have a suspect behind bars, the search for complete justice continues. The legal proceedings are being closely watched, as each new development could shift the course of the trial and either bring closure or further heartbreak. A town forever changed. The murders of Libby German and Abby Williams left an indelible mark on Delphi, turning it from a quiet town into the center of a national crime mystery. The Monon High Bridge, once a beloved local landmark, now serves as a haunting reminder of the tragedy. The fear that once gripped the town has not fully faded, and the emotional wounds remain fresh for many residents. While the arrest of Richard Allen brings some closure, many questions remain. Was he acting alone? Were there other suspects who played a role? What was the true motive behind this senseless crime? As the trial unfolds, the world watches, hoping for the answers that have eluded investigators for so long. The quest for truth continues, and the people of Delphi will not rest until justice is fully served. Stay tuned as we continue to follow every update in the search for justice for Libby and Abby. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to keep their story alive, because some mysteries should never be forgotten.